Hello everyone, this is Neha Chauhan, founder and CEO AeroBay. This is a place where we create an innovative experiential learning ecosystem for our K-12 schools where we integrate technology into their existing subject and trying to build the gap between academic standard and the industrial requirement. Today we have a very special guest with us, none other than Farhad Merchant sir, who's a CEO of Aga Khan Education Service India. Sir, it's an honor to have you here. Thank you for taking the time out in your busy schedule. I've been meaning to have this conversation with you. Sir, but to begin with, before I come on to the question, for our viewers who wants to know more about you, you've been into the education domain and you're heading the whole education service of Aga Khan from such a long time. So a little bit about yourself, your experiences, what are your observations and some insight in your journey?
Sure. So I'm originally an engineer. I've done my engineering and I was in IT field for about 17 years.
Right.
And then last 17 years, I've been into the non-profit space.
Okay.
Started with Aga Khan Education Service India, moved on to EdTech startup and leadership development organization.
Oh, wow.
And I'm back now with the Aga Khan Education Services.
Right.
We run schools, preschools, a hostel, an academy. So we have a variety of offerings that are catering to various needs.
Right.
Especially catering to those that are either first generation learners or those that are at a disadvantage. So that's the focus of the work that we do in India.
Right.
And we are part of a global network. So we are over 200 schools globally.
Right.
And part of the Aga Khan Development Network, which has different verticals.
Right.
Aside from education, we are into health and livelihood.
Okay.
And environmental services and so on.
Wow, that's a quite strong portfolio, sir. So you've been part of EdTech industry, so complete corporate world, and now into the foundation education services. Which side is more difficult?
I don't think any side is more difficult. I think it's the love, the passion to be able to solve problems. So when you're in the IT world, you work with different organizations where they have certain gaps, certain areas that they are working on. And your IT solution is responding to that, trying to be able to give them solutions that can make their organization operate more efficiently and more effectively.
Right.
From an education standpoint, it's the same kind of things.
Right.
Challenges being different, it's a different world.
Right.
So we work largely with children. So you're trying to make sure that these children have a great future.
Right.
They are able to get access to quality education. You're able to keep them abreast of the changes that are happening in the world today, especially with the advent of AI these days.
Absolutely, sir. Sir, I relate with you here because I'm also engineer by education professor. So I did my aerospace from Liverpool. That was, I think, back in 2012. So we were hardcore engineers, and then obviously entrepreneurship happened accidentally as per se, and then obviously ended up working in education domain. Sir, in all the schools where we are working currently closely with, and also the schools where we approach, there's this constant question which we receive that government has taken out so much of policies. National Education Policy came out. Now for CBSE school, composite skill lab policies came out. They are talking about integrating artificial intelligence. That is the topic of all the conversation nowadays. Apart from that, there are different modules in terms of doing space education, astronomy, and this and that. And then school question is, we already have so much in plate. Our teachers have already so much in plate. Then there is one side of the world who's talking about advancing yourself, advancing your curriculum. And there's this side of world who's already doing a lot according to the curriculum, assessment. There's a lot of things are happening. How do we bridge the gap between the current requirement, the need of the hour, and what the schools are going through?
So I think it's a journey, right? I mean, every new advent of new technologies that comes in, it takes us a certain process by the time we are able to, address how best to use it in the real world.
Right.
When we look at schools, a lot of it is about what are we doing for the students, for them to be able to better face the future, which is unknown today, right? It's the same thing which was what we went through when we were in our school days. It's exactly the same thing that we're trying to do for them, except that the pace of change is much faster.
Right.
Right. So when we are looking at this, the government may come up with policies, but even before the government comes up with policies, what is it that we want our children to know?
Right.
What is it that we want them to be ready with when they face the world tomorrow? So if we do not, adopt the technologies that are readily available today, they are not going to be ready to be able to deal with it when they have to, when they go out into the real world tomorrow. So how do you equip them? There are two things that we have to do. One, of course, make sure that we understand the technology. We put appropriate safeguards to ensure that the technology is being used in an effective manner, whether it's for the students or for the teachers, right? Teachers today have got a whole, we were talking about, their whole workload that is there in running a school, doing assessments, preparing, planning, delivering lessons, and so on. Now, how do you enable them to be able to do their job better?
Right.
So the first thing you have to see is, how do you reduce their workload? How do you enhance their ability to do what they are doing better?
Right.
So that is the first focus area that you would basically look at, whether it is artificial intelligence or any other technology or tool that you're bringing into the school. The second part of it is for the students.
Right.
How do you help them to learn while protecting them from misusing that technology?
Absolutely.
Or getting swayed, especially because a lot of the AI stuff is going to throw things at them which they may not be ready for.
Yes.
So you're equipping them with the skills. You're equipping them with attitudes.
Right.
Knowledge is today available at the tip of the finger.
Everywhere.
But these are the things. What else can you do to ensure that their behaviors are in a manner that are able to use these tools, these technologies and artificial intelligence in a more ethical manner?
Right.
You are basically ensuring that they are taught how to learn.
Right.
If you give them everything that is spoon-fed, or if AI is dumbing down their ability to learn, then that's not doing justice or service for what the school is there for.
Right.
So you need to ensure that you're creating an environment that is engaging for the students, that they feel happy learning, not using AI to solve a test or an exam.
Right.
Because the minute you do that, you've lost the plot.
Right. So basically not utilize AI or misuse it just to get answers on a click of a button, but also to understand the whole aspect around it. Right. So while we are talking about AI, the lot of career domains are also changing. I mean, the jobs which were there 5 years back, probably they don't exist now. Even in our company, there is this common conversation around that, we don't need graphic designer anymore. Cloud can do it better and this and that.
That is true.
All of those things are happening. So then people are pushing, I won't say pushing, there's a lot of awareness, especially after Shark Tank coming to India. They are saying, don't be a 9-to-5 person and, build your own startup in any domain whatsoever you like. Even though there is a wave of startup coming to India, Startup India ecosystem is also helping. But still, sir, the failure ratio of startups are very, very high. Every year, some lakhs of startups open up, they don't get funding or their product is not good, they get shut down. So there's this constant fear factor also. As India, as a country, are we ready to create those entrepreneurs? We are saying children not to go. We are putting that into their brain. Even though, like, being an entrepreneur, I'm always inclined to that you should be an entrepreneur. But I understand the risk factor behind it, right? So how do we take that thought process to our young kids who are in 8th and 9th and 10th grade? Because I see a lot of kids nowadays and they say, I'm going to drop out from the college because he or she has done that and I'll build a business. Is this the correct way to approach, or should we still go to universities and then do it?
I think your question itself has an answer, right?
Yeah.
So I think there is no shortcut to education.
Right.
There's no shortcut to learning. Dropping out of school, dropping out of university is not the answer.
Right.
I think like you said, it's like there is a thrust of certain people pursuing certain areas, right? So when we were young, the focus was on engineering and medicine,
right,
or chartered accountancy, right? There were very limited areas that you could pursue. Today, the range is vast. You can pursue so many different things. Now, when we talk about employment versus entrepreneurship, both have their space in society.
Absolutely.
Right? So you can't say that entrepreneurs are everything and everybody else is nothing. Nor can you say that everybody has to get into employment. It's a mindset. Risk is there in either ways, right? I mean, today there are so many jobs that are today no longer existing. So you went into an employment area and then now you are out of a job. So the risk is there in that as much as it is there in entrepreneurship. I think the primary goal is, what is it that you want to do? Every individual is unique, right? So if you are able to equip them to think for themselves, right? And what is today's schooling doing is focusing on 21st century skills.
Absolutely.
Critical thinking is one of the primary areas in
Right.
Now, whether you have AI coming in, whether you have got other technologies coming in, etc.
Right.
It's not going to replace the critical thinking. It's not going to replace human behavior.
It's not going to replace our teachers?
It's not going to replace your
No.
teachers. It is going to supplement the learning that the
Right.
teachers are able to give. See,
Right.
teachers have their own limitations in terms of bandwidth, in terms of expertise. The range of teachers that you can get is also very varied, right?
Right.
So you will get teachers coming from different backgrounds,
Right.
each of them with different subject areas, subject matter expertise. You have teachers that are coming in that are excellent at engaging with students. There are teachers that are coming with very strong subject knowledge but may not be as
Absolutely.
able to connect with students as well. So how do you make sure that you are taking the strengths that the teacher has got and supplementing that with something that is available through technology or artificial intelligence
Right.
is really the answer to this. You need to be able to create the right balance, strike the right balance that will allow what is the aim and the objective of a school is schooling.
Right.
You want to make sure that the child is learning,
Right.
and child is learning so that they are successful in the future, that
Absolutely.
they are able to be independent in the future, they are able to think for themselves, they are able to apply that learning in the real world. So all of these factors as a combination of humans and artificial intelligence
Right.
is really the way
So
forward.
it has to come together. There's
Has to come together.
it's not like
one
AI
against
against.
the other. And in fact, you can't even say that it's teachers will go ahead and do everything that they can and leave AI behind. It's not going to happen. AI
Right.
is here. It's here to stay. When calculators came in, everybody had the fear of calculators. And
Absolutely.
today, everybody is using
Yeah.
it. So it's about how do you make sure that you leverage it as a tool
Exactly.
and use it to support what you want to achieve,
Right.
rather than looking at it as a threat and trying to stay away from it.
Absolutely, sir. I remember when you gave the calculator example, when computers were invented back then, people were scared that, people who are working on typewriters and all of those jobs, it will go away, but it didn't happen. It's just the people, they learned, they adapted, and then obviously now we have gone beyond everything. Sir, so talking about technological advancement and school incorporating all of these learning, and obviously teachers are also advancing. One point I still feel when I see all of this, I don't know which generation are we at, Gen Z or Gen Alpha, but they have lot of insecurities in them in terms of, and I'm not just talking about social media, the overall perspective of life. They are very, very competitive. They feel, okay, this and that person is doing on such level. It could be any competition. It could be how many followers they have on social media, how they look, how they talk, how many extra classes they've been participating into. And it's creating a lot of pressure on the students, which A is good thing, they are getting a lot of opportunities, but B, don't you think it's too soon for them, or there's...
No, I don't think it's too soon for them. I think I think it's good to have a certain degree of competition and the competitive spirit that is there.
Right.
If we try to kind of mollycoddle children and say, this is your safe space and that's all you're going to do,
Right.
and you are you and that's it, right? And you don't say anything beyond that, then in a way you're not giving them an opportunity to be able to succeed when they go out into the real world.
Right.
You need to be able to give them that sense of safety.
Right.
You need to make sure that they feel safeguarded and they are able to yes, they are unique, but at the same time every individual around them is unique. So how do you ensure that you are able to allow them space to not only compete with the others but also collaborate with the others?
Absolutely.
Right. So it's basically a concept of like when you say cooperation and competition coming together, so it's like a coopetition.
Right.
And you use that effectively so that the child not only is...
So it won't become pressure on them. The whole scenario will happen other way around, that they'll have a lot of opportunity and exposure.
Yeah.
So before we leave, it just clicked my mind while you are here, so I thought why not ask. Education, advancement, technologies, all of that is happening. I mean, I know it could be very controversial to say. I mean, I'll leave it up to you. There was a lot of talk, and obviously I was also a part of it, that why Indian students go outside of India and get their education, right? In my time, when in 2012, I did not find a good university to do aerospace, so that's why I went there. But even if we are not, if we don't take such extreme courses, even if we are talk about courses on normal level, there's because we also hire a lot of engineers, there's lot of skill gap, there's lot of environment like gap in terms of the ecosystem which university has created. I mean, you've seen the Galgotia ka example, right? In AI, they had to go to China and got a robot, or they made a plane out of thermocol. Here we are advancing school at such a level, and here there's a university who's bringing a thermocol airplane to the biggest AI summit. Your any thoughts on it, sir?
So the way I see it, I think the trend is shifting. Right? So there are good universities that have come up in India. Tertiary education is no longer a dream for Indian students to say we have to go abroad.
Right.
Yes, there are still many that look at that as a pathway to be able to immigrate.
Right.
Right. So they look at it saying that, okay, we'll go to the West,
Right.
and my life will be secure, my family will be secure.
Right.
That's the mindset.
That's the mindset.
But today, a lot of those foreign universities have come to India.
Yes.
A lot of great Indian universities are there that are, more forward thinking with the kind of faculty that they have got
Right.
than many of the others. I mean, see, one is about saying, I will go to a foreign university.
Right.
One is about saying, I will go to a good foreign university.
Good foreign news.
Right? So
There's
there
a
are
difference.
enough and more foreign universities that are there that are not even of that caliber and standard that you will have in many of the universities in India. I think what you spoke about in terms of the gap, skill gap, it's more of a finishing school kind of a concept. So, the gap between education and employment or entrepreneurship. So when you complete your graduation, how ready are you to get into the world of, either the job market or the startup market?
Right.
If you are ready, then the university or the school has done its job. If you are not, it means that gap exists, and that's the reason there are players that are coming in that are trying to bridge that gap. There is no dearth of opportunities in India. I think if you study in India, you can do great. I mean, I'm a product of India.
Yes.
I've studied here in Bombay University.
Lovely.
And I've moved into the IT industry. I've covered almost every country around the globe.
Right.
When I went in for implementation. So I don't think there is anything stopping you if you have the will,
Right.
and you have the desire to do it, but you do it with passion.
Right.
You do it with full commitment. And I
Right.
think that's the important message for the youngsters of today, for the youth of today,
Right.
that commitment levels need to be high.
Great, sir. That was such a lovely message, and I'm sure our viewers must have learned a lot today. I mean, I did. So thank you so much, sir, once again
Thank you for having
giving us this opportunity and sharing your thoughts with all the viewers.
Thank you so
sir.
much.
And I hope all of you learned something today. So keep all of that in mind, and we'll keep on bringing you more stuff. Thank you, everyone. Bye.